Hey folks, Flamin' Friday, number 12. We're answering the question: what sort of effect do the trees have on grass species composition? Now this is a little bit more of a special site because of the roughness of the terrain. There's a few more holes and washouts in this pasture. And that has changed the kind of soils that we normally see in this bottom here. And so these are, you can kind of see powdery, lighter soils. They're not the good hard black soils that we see, or darker soils that we can see in other places. This is not necessarily an extreme site because this whole pasture, there's 280, so 300 acres here in this pasture, and it's relatively consistent all the way down. But this section that these cows are in, there's around 200 cows here with only 80 acres, and normally we would graze this a little heavier with 300 or 350 cows. So this has been somewhat intensively managed, and we can say that because the number of trees on this range site are making the stock density quite a bit higher than just that 300 cows to 80 acres. There's going to be at least 25% tree cover here. And in this range site, because the trees have allowed and maybe even contributed to the continued erosion, and you can kind of see these are bigger trees that are growing on the canyon floor. They're not growing on the hillsides. Once they start creeping out into the bottoms, you know that you have quite a bit bigger problem. And there's actually a decent washout. What used to be a cow path is now just a waterway. So the water will land on the canyon floor, and it actually runs over to the edges instead of what we usually see is kind of down the middle. And that's added to by the water that's coming down the slopes and washing underneath these trees, contributing to the erosion and the light soils that we see. And because we have these light soils, it's hindering some of the higher or higher quality plants that we would normally see out here. If you saw in our Flamin' Friday number 10, get out of there. Sorry about that. You saw a lot of big blue stem, a lot of tall grass prairie grasses, and they were really tall. Granted, this was grazed in May. Let's see. This pasture would have been last grazed in mid-May. So, obviously this site had a grazing, whereas the other site didn't. But that doesn't change the composition that we see and the health of the species that are out here. So, I'm standing in maybe 6 or 8 inches of side oats grama, and this whole range site would have been mostly winter wheat this spring. There are some big blue stem. It's really short. This one is still the seed head growing out on these, so these have been grazed just a little bit, but we're still looking at 3-foot tall plant and not very much leaf area on the plant, mostly stem. So you can definitely tell the range site is degraded due to the increased erosion and tree cover in the pasture as a whole. This one, hopefully, will get burnt by 25 or 26, but we will see how all the planning and prep goes. So hopefully you can tell, and if you haven't seen our Flaming Friday number 10, that one will give you a little bit more of an idea of the difference in species composition. And again, this site does have some big blue stem, but it's not very thick and it's not very healthy. It's a lot of stem and it's recovering. So I hope you guys had a good week and hopefully we'll catch you here next time.